You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
Here, my name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Ben Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you enjoy controversy connected to your college football pregame shows because, oh, buddy, we got it. Last night, news broke that Dave Portnoy, founder of Barstool Sports, has been banned from Ohio State Stadium in advance of Fox's Big Noon Kickoff show, scheduled to originate live from Columbus, Ohio, for Ohio State versus Texas this weekend. By the time I wake up this morning, it's being reported that Ohio State hasn't banned Dave Portnoy, that it's just a Fox decision not to have him inside the stadium. But Dave Portnoy has jumped on social media and said it's not true. I've actually been banned from Ohio State. I don't know what to make of it. Bennett's been over there doing all of the research. I'm going to talk to him about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you in the next segment. Around 10:20, Nicole Auerbach's going to join me. She, of course, is a college football, college basketball insider, NBC Sports. College football, it's here. We had week 0, but the big stuff, it's on tap. Nicole Auerbach's going to be here. She's going to join me in about 20 minutes or so. We finished talking to Nicole. We're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Memphis Athletic Director Ed Scott met with the media yesterday, and he answered questions about how the SEC's new scheduling model could impact Ryan Silverfield's Tigers. I'll tell you what he said. We'll do that in about 40 minutes. One day before rosters have to be finalized in the NFL, I guess it's 4 o'clock today, the Cleveland Browns made a notable trade. They moved Kenny Pickett to the Raiders, which suggests at least Shedeur Sanders is now going to be QB3. There were reports that the Cleveland Browns were going to take 4 quarterbacks into the season. Now that's not going to happen. We'll talk roster decisions in the NFL. We're going to do that a little later on in the show. Have you ever bought a movie from Amazon?
No.
Really?
No.
I think I have. And what I learned this morning is that I don't actually own it. Bennett, what's going on? I thought if I bought something, I owned it. Like I bought this iPad here. It's mine. I own this. But what you're telling me is if I buy a movie from Amazon, I might not own it. I'm confused. We'll discuss. We'll do that a little later on the show. Cal Raleigh, big dumper. He made more history last night. Hit his 50th home run of the season. Joined a club with just one other member, and that member is Mickey Mantle. We'll talk baseball. We'll do that in the third segment. And a man named Trinell Williams has been arrested and charged with the murder of a comedian named Reggie Carroll. I bring this up only because it happened in South Haven. And the dude charged with the crime has connections to internationally acclaimed comedian Cat Williams. I hinted at this yesterday. It's a story that's starting to go national. I'll tell you what we know during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carry Out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with some sports media news that broke last night and then got updated this morning. It concerns Fox's Big Noon Kickoff show, which they have developed to go head-to-head with ESPN's College Game Day. As you know, earlier this year, it was announced that Fox had hired Dave Portnoy, the founder and face of Barstool Sports, to be a part of their Big Noon Kickoff show, right? It was controversial, if only because Dave, whether you like him or you don't like him, and I understand people are in both of those camps, he is controversial, right? Everybody can acknowledge that. So it was a controversial decision, but it seemed to suggest at the time, hey, when you turn on Fox in advance of their, Big Noon football game, which this week happens to be Texas against Ohio State, the biggest game of the weekend, and one of the biggest season openers in the history of college football.
Yes.
I mean, it just is.
It's about as good as it gets, yeah.
It is about as good as it gets. It's the number one team in the country, which also happens to be one of the biggest brands in the country, which also happens to be the reigning national champions. All right?
Yep.
So you got all that stuff. This is the way the NBA and the NFL, they design their schedules this way. In the NBA, you win the title, you're going to open the next season. So when we open the NBA season, this upcoming season, later on this year, it's going to originate, the first game we'll watch is going to originate from Oklahoma City, right? In the NFL, what are we doing? First game, Thursday night. A week from this Thursday, what are we doing?
Cowboys
at Eagles,
yeah.
Super Bowl champions, right? So they develop schedules, create schedules around this type of stuff. This was just something that was put on Ohio State's schedule, and then all the other stuff happened to fall into place. They are the reigning national champions. They are the number one team in the country, and they are one of the biggest brands in college athletics. So it almost wouldn't matter who they were playing. As long as it was another elite team, it would be the biggest game of the weekend, the first game since they won it all. They're playing Texas. Top 5 team.
Arch Manning.
Heisman Trophy favorite. And it would be big if they were just playing Texas, period. But they're playing Texas when Texas has a single-digit number next to its name. They're playing Texas when Texas has the Heisman Trophy favorite. And it would be big no matter what. But what if I told you the Heisman Trophy favorite also happens to be a Manning, grandson of Archie, nephew of Peyton and Eli? You really can't do it any better than this. I mean, reasonably speaking, this is as good as you could put together a season-opening big game. I really do believe it's in terms of we'll see what happens when the game starts, but in terms of anticipation leading into it, you can't do any better than this. Not reasonably speaking. Ohio State, Texas, this weekend, going to be great. So, huge game. Dave Portnoy, based on the announcement that we heard earlier this year, is going to be a part of the pregame show and a significant part of the pregame show.
Yeah.
And then last night, news breaks that he has been banned from Ohio State. Now, we should point out, if you don't know, Dave is a Michigan alum, and proudly. And he's not the type of alum that loves his school and just loves his school. His sort of approach on everything is, I love what I love, and anything in the way of that is something I hate. I don't want to oversimplify, but that's a reasonable explanation of how he approaches things, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
He loves
Caitlin
Michigan,
Clark.
so he
hates
loves
Angel Reese.
Perfect.
Yeah,
we can go down the list.
Right.
He loves Ohio State, so he hates Michigan.
There he loves Michigan, hates Ohio State.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yes.
He loves Michigan, so he hates Ohio State. He loves Taylor Swift, so he hates Kanye West. He loves Caitlin Clark, so he hates Angel Reese. And I know hate's a strong word, but it's probably the word he would use.
Yeah.
It's probably the word he would use.
Hate in a fun way.
Like I
Hate in a fun way.
Yeah, but it seems since like it comes from a real place, or at least he's consistent with it.
Yeah, I got it.
He's consistent with it. Like I love the University of Memphis, but I don't sit around hating the University of Cincinnati. You know?
No, I never really hated them that much.
I think when I was young, there was a part of me.
Going, though.
I hated Denny Crum for a minute. I think I hated it, but then I grew out of that. Right? I became an adult and I just grew out of that.
I still hate Louisville.
You can hate Louisville. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. I'm not telling you I'm what you should be. I'm telling you how I am. I love the Mets. I don't really hate the Braves. Like Greg Maddux is one of my favorite pitchers of all time. He ruined my childhood, but I still respect that he's amazing. So I don't carry around that trait. I have other awful traits, but I don't carry that one around. But Dave, like, he loves what he loves, and he hates anything that is an adversary to what he loves. So, in theory, what we were led to believe is that Fox was going to put him on the big pregame show. And, oh, wow, his debut is going to happen to come inside Ohio State Stadium in advance of the biggest game of the weekend and one of the biggest games of the opening weekends in the history of college football. So then news breaks last night that he's been banned from Ohio State. Oh, wow. And so I write a whole thing. Like, this is just PR nightmare. What are you doing? Self-inflicted wound. What are you doing? But by the time I wake up this morning, I believe Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports is reporting that he hasn't actually been banned from Ohio State Stadium. This is a Fox decision. But by the time I get here this morning, Dave Portnoy has jumped on social media and said, that's a lie. I have been banned from Ohio State, and they're petty, petty, petty. Bennett, what's the truth? Catch me up. What happened?
Oh, I actually think Portnoy's right here. I do.
Give me your version of what happened, and then I'll tell you what assume.
So Dellinger this morning said that basically Ross Bjork confirmed that Fox decided that Portnoy was not going to be on the main desk of Big Noon Kickoff for this game, and that those not on the desk normally don't appear on the field, right? For, before the game or whatever, and that these are Fox decisions, not Ohio State decisions. And then a few minutes ago, Portnoy puts out a video that's like, "I've been banned. Like, stop it." I actually believe him because I think what happened here is this was something that was, because you can hear Portnoy says in the video, he was just going to kind of let it go before it became a thing, because this is like this is a big deal for Barstool to be a part of Big Noon Kickoff. Like, they're going to try to, compete with College Game Day. Who knows if it works or not, but like that's their idea. That's their
it's going
goal.
to work now.
He's trying to be a team player here. And so I think he was going to let it maybe go a little bit. And then this story just blew up. Now he sees that Ross Bjork's trying to do like the PR crisis management right now. And so he was like, no. Here's what happened. I've been banned. I'm not going to be on the show for this game because Ohio State doesn't want me to be on the show for this game. I actually believe him in this instance. I think this was something that they tried to make happen, under the table, and it's not going to be a story. It's not going to be a big deal. Then it is a story, and now it is a big deal.
Maybe. You might be right. I don't have any doubt that is what Dave believes. And you can tell that he believes he was banned because he has other Barstool people rallying around him. Like Big Cat tweeted about it last night. I do genuinely believe they are all operating under the understanding, accurate or not, that he was banned from Ohio State. You know what I bet the truth is? So, as is usually the case in stuff like this, somewhere in the middle. And here would be the middle. I bet you some semblance of what I'm about to say is probably true. Fox wants to hire Dave Portnoy because they think he can inject all the stuff they want into their pregame show and also bring eyeballs. Like, Barstool is a big deal, a needle mover. He's a needle mover. And Fox was like, if ESPN's going to do Pat McAfee, and he's sort of non-traditional, unconventional, then maybe we could do a different version of that. And our version, given that the Big Ten is our biggest property, and given that one of the guys who runs the biggest, trendiest sports media companies in the world is a Big Ten alum, we'll bring him in. Well, the difference between, say, Pat McAfee and Dave Portnoy, or Paul Feinbaum even and Dave Portnoy, is that those guys can be attached to shows. But when you think of Paul Feinbaum, even though he worked in Alabama, Tennessee grad, do you really attach him to any singular school? Or do you just think of Paul as like
Just a college football guy.
SEC guy?
Yeah.
You just sort of, you don't really he doesn't, I love this and I hate this.
I agree with that.
That's not really his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't even think McAfee is really I love this and I hate this. Like, do you even know where McAfee went to school? You might.
Where'd he go?
West Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's
like,
right.
you're proving my point. Like, he doesn't really attach himself.
Hammer it, yeah.
Like, I love this, so I hate this. I'm a West Virginia alum, so screw Pitt. You know, it's not really a thing. But with Dave, it's a thing. He loves what he loves, and he hates anything on the other side of that. We went through it. So, I bet you what happens, or at least what I can easily imagine happening, is Fox wants to inject him into this show for all the obvious reasons. He's a needle mover. Whether you like him or not, he's that.
Mm-hmm.
You get some pushback from your league members, probably at Ohio State first and foremost. What are you doing? This guy is on social media every week, blasting us, mocking us. We are arguably your most important property. Why are you doing this? You're going to be originating a show from our campus often, including in week 1 for the biggest game of the year, one of the biggest season openers of all time. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? We're your reigning national champs.
Mm-hmm.
We're a good corporate partner with you, business partner with you. You're coming to our campus for week 1, and we can't wait for you to get there. But why are you doing this? All right? And then I bet you Michigan State said something similar.
Michigan, yeah.
No,
Michigan State. Yeah. I got you.
Purdue. I mean, I don't know, but I bet you it wasn't just Ohio State. I bet you this gets made into a conversation, if not done, for all intents and purposes, and then you get some internal like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And Ohio State's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're arguably the biggest brand in this league, and this league just hired a guy who shits on you nonstop. Why'd you do this? So you start to get a little bit of the pushback.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what Fox does? They say, hey, listen, calm down. It's not what you think. Yeah, we're going to bring him in to be a part of the show because we're trying to bury ESPN. Don't you want to bury ESPN? Put the other stuff aside. Don't you want to bury ESPN? Don't you want us? Don't you want to be the biggest thing? And then we got to get to be the biggest thing. This guy can help us do it. I know he doesn't like you, but people like him. And he can move this needle for us. We're going to pull an audience from there. But we're not going to put him like on the main desk. Like, there's only so many chairs at that desk. That's like Urban sits there. We're not. Your former coach. That's who's on the main desk. It's not the Michigan guy. He's going to be a side set. We're using him to use him, but you've got it all wrong. He's not going to be what you think he's going to be in every segment of a multi-hour show on the main desk from inside the stadium. That's not what it is. Okay. That's the compromise. Yeah, we're going to use him, but not in the way you think, and it'll be fine. Calm down. Meantime, all we've ever read is that Dave Portnoy is coming to Fox and Barstool's coming to Fox. And I bet you these details that I'm saying to you right now, the details that are now being reported, I bet you they weren't clearly communicated to him in advance. These shows are massive shows. Like when I get an email that says, hey, GP, you're on the Final Four show, I don't reasonably assume that I'm going to be on the main desk at the Final Four with Charles Barkley and Adam Zucker and however we're doing that. I realize I'm going to be a part of the show, but I could be anywhere and often will be outside the stadium. I bet you there's just a communication breakdown here somewhere. And now it's blown up into this massive thing. And now Dave and Barstool can use it for exactly what they're great at using it for. And Fox will benefit from it Because what are you going to do Saturday morning if you're at home in front of a TV? You're going to turn that on to see. When does he come in? What does he do? What does he say? It's a bigger deal now than it otherwise would be. And so if it actually is a thing where he's banned, that's just a mistake because you turned it into something that it doesn't need to be. But if it's just a communication breakdown and he can still frame it the way he wants to frame it, and then Fox and the Big Ten and Ohio State can frame it the way they want to frame it, and nobody ever actually gets to the actual truth, well, then all parties involved get to deny responsibility if you're pointing a finger at them, but they then do benefit from it. Because this will be the show that, yeah, your college game day lovers, they'll turn that on. But there's going to be a lot of people now who turn this show on Saturday who otherwise wouldn't even know it's happening or care. But they'll turn it on. Why? Just to see what happens next. I'll talk to Nicole Auerbach about it. She'll join me next.
The NBA announced their dunk of the year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and I'm joined now by Nicole Auerbach, who, of course, covers college football and college basketball for NBC Sports. She's here right now. Nicole, it's GP. How you doing on this Tuesday?
I am doing just great. We have actual live football to talk about after a long off season, so I couldn't be happier.
We got week 0 in the books, week 1 coming up, and somehow, some way, the biggest story in college football today is not actually about Ohio State, Texas, the game, Arch Manning as a starting quarterback. It's about a pregame show, specifically the one that's going to happen at Fox Sports. When I went to bed last night, Dave Portnoy had been banned from Ohio State. When I woke up this morning, Ohio State had said, no, that's not actually true. Just as someone who, I know you follow all this stuff on social media, what do you make of this controversy that is circulating among social media?
Well, I just wanted to underscore the point you made before, that I do think it's possible that there were side sets and things in the tailgate lot or whatever it might be, because that is how these shows work. You are in different locations, you are moving around. We don't have anything to compare this to because we haven't seen like one show of what it was meant to look like or how they were going to use Dave Portnoy. So I think that was always going to be an interesting question at a game at Ohio State with the way Dave Portnoy has been involved in Michigan athletics and where's his fandom. So I'm interested to see how it shakes out. I will say it's funny that this is happening this week because I really think most people are hyper-focused on game day because it's Lee Corso's last game day and last headgear pick. So now, yes, like, does it become more of a split screen YouTube TV multi-watch situation? Probably.
Let's talk specifically about the game. It's Ohio State against Texas. Earlier, I said not only is it the biggest game of the weekend, it feels like, and I emphasize the word feel because I don't know that I can support this with data, but it feels like one of the biggest season openers we've ever had. It's a huge brand in Ohio State. They're ranked number 1. They're the reigning national champs. You've got Ryan Day trying to join a very short list of modern coaches who have gone back-to-back. You got Arch Manning in Texas, another big brand, the most famous name in arguably college football history on the other side. You can't do better than this, reasonably speaking. How big of a season opener is this?
It's huge. And at the same time, like the team that loses this game, it's not going to impact them, right? Like they could still very well win a national title, make the CFP. All of those things will still be in front of them. But yes, I mean, it almost is a 1 versus 2 game. If you're using the coaches poll, it is a 1 versus 2 game. So it's massive. It's a rematch of a game that we just saw in the national semifinals last year, although you have a lot of newcomers and new pieces to this game. But so many questions, and you're going to get answers to them about, what Arch Manning looks like, fully with the reins against an elite defense and one of the best defensive players that we've seen in recent years in Caleb Downs, a safety there. The flip side is Julian Sayin stepping up as a first-time starter for Ohio State, going up against the Texas defense that has stars on every level. And maybe the second best player on the field is Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker for the Longhorns. So there's a lot that we'll learn about both of these teams. But to underscore your point, A, I love that this series got scheduled. B, I love that these teams didn't bail on it. You also have a Clemson-LSU series this weekend, Notre Dame-Miami. So, these are the things that we really, really need for college football, especially right out of the gate in week 1, because it's added so much juice to the season, the off season, because you have all of these big brands that are clashing. And it's not going to eliminate anyone from the playoff. We did learn that last year, but it still tells you so much more about these teams when you see it right out of the gate. And it's just really exciting to kick off the season this way.
I know these games are often scheduled years in advance, but on some level, is this type of thing, these big early matchups between non-league foes, a byproduct of the expanded playoff? In other words, you emphasize neither one of these teams will be eliminated from the college football playoff, and I would argue that's a great thing because it incentivizes the willingness to even play the game. It's a big marquee event, but it won't kill you the way you might have gotten killed in a BCS era.
Completely agree. And this is one of the main reasons I supported expanding the playoff and having more wiggle room for these teams. I mean, last year we saw that kind of the cutoff point was we had a 3-loss team in Clemson as a conference champ that made it. But 9-3 was the cutoff point for at-large teams. That's a quarter of your season, right? So you can lose up to a quarter of your season and still be in the mix there in that final weekend and have a shot at getting a spot in the playoff. That means, yes, you do have some wiggle room. Yeah, of course, you're going to, play league foes. You're more familiar with them. They're more familiar with you. You might be more likely to lose those games. If you're in the SEC, you believe it's the toughest schedule in the country. So you've got that wiggle room. But you also have wiggle room from a non-conference standpoint, too. And I do think that we saw schools like Georgia and Florida in particular scheduling out into the 2020s, assuming that the playoff was going to expand, to build those types of games. I mean, I think the SEC going to 9 conference games is part of this as well, because you can take another loss, but also you have to sell season tickets. You have to have butts in seats. You have to provide value for a home game for people to come in person. So you need better opponents. And so I think it all kind of goes hand in hand in this, revenue is more important than ever era of college sports. But also, yes, you are going to have a mulligan or two. I mean, Notre Dame had one of the worst losses we've seen in college football history and still made the playoff and hosted a game. So you have that wiggle room now, and I do hope that it leads to more teams scheduling this way instead of just trying to rack up the wins and go 11-1 and make the playoff.
The powers that be continue to negotiate what the college football playoff will look like going forward. Do you have a preferred format? Is there something that makes the most sense to you?
I like it the way it is. I think that everything worked really well last year, except for the fact that the seeding was confusing because you said the top 4 seeds had to be conference champs. That was confusing because every time you looked at a graphic, there's like 2 different numbers next to these team names, and it's hard to keep track of. And then we talked so much about Oregon and being a number 1 seed, but not having the best path because the bracket wasn't balanced. And every time we look at a bracket, like we're talking about college basketball, but any bracket format, it's the best team gets the weakest seeds, right? And it wasn't set up that way. So now that that's fixed, I think it's going to work really, really well. Like I said, I think a 9-3 cutoff point is a really good spot. Quarter of your games, you lose more than a quarter of your games, hard to argue that like you deserved a chance to play for a national championship. You're 5th in your conference, hard to argue that you deserved a chance to play for a national championship. So I like this, and I'm hoping that this impasse between the Big Ten and the SEC and their preferred models leads to no change by December 1st, and that we stay at 12, because I think 5, conference champions and 7 at-large spots, it's a really good size. There's benefits to trying to push for a home game, trying to earn a bye. There's different levels to this that I think work really well. And again, I think it was a really natural cutoff point for college football.
I mentioned earlier Ryan Day's got an opportunity to try to become a back-to-back national championship coach. In the modern era, like that list is pretty short. It's Nick Saban, it's Kirby Smart. You can go back to Barry Switzer, Bear Bryant, but there aren't a lot of people on that list. How big of a story is that heading into this season? A guy was on the verge of perhaps being fired last year if he loses a first-round playoff game. Gets through that, wins a national championship. Now preseason number 1, he could go from win this game or you're done to joining a list with Bear Bryant and Nick Saban. Have we ever seen anything like this?
Well, it's hard to even compare what happened to end the season, how low they were after the Michigan loss to then win the national title. I mean, like that was just storybook stuff. It felt like a Disney movie at times. But I think that there's actually not been a lot of conversation about going back to back. I think everyone's kind of penciling Ohio State into our, preseason CFP brackets. But there's just a lot of questions. They're replacing a ton of guys. Like they had everybody decide to come back for one more run last year. So they're young but talented at a lot of different spots. So I'm in a little bit wait and see mode with them. And in terms of like the championship or bust teams, it is more like the Texas. It's more Penn State. I even put Clemson in there. I'm really high on Clemson with what they bring back. And I think they have the best quarterback coming into the season in Cade Klubnik. So to me, I think Ohio State's actually weirdly kind of flying under the radar a little bit because they got that monkey off the back last year. And then it'll ramp up as we get closer to the Michigan game, because, we'll be talking about how Ryan Day hasn't beat Michigan in 4 years. But it takes away a lot of the sting when you're coming off a national championship. Like he certainly was looser throughout the offseason, even into fall camp, when you have a ring.
Arch Manning is the Heisman Trophy favorite. He's the quarterback at Texas. He will be on a huge stage this weekend. I think everybody believes in him, but in the most Steve Spurrier way ever, this quote has sort of stuck with me. Spurrier just sort of, off the cuff said, hey, listen, he might be great, but why was he playing behind a 7th round pick if he's that excellent? Which sort of struck me as an interesting question. What do you make of the Arch Manning thing? Do we know how good he is?
Everyone says he's really, really good, right? And I think that there is a valid question. There's certainly a portion of the sports media and the fan bases that wonder about that, right? If he really was kind of like the second coming, why didn't he beat out Quinn Ewers at any point? Obviously, he was the incumbent. There were reasons for that. But really, like, we haven't seen him do much. He had such a small sample size. He's had like 61 completions in college football. He didn't play the world's best teams when he started for Quinn Ewers last year. So I do think that there's just an assumption that he will be better. It's a 3rd year in the system. Steve Sarkisian, the most creative offensive play caller in the country, is going to be calling plays for him. We know he's much more mobile than his uncles were. Like, there's just a lot of excitement for him and the way that he's handled it all, the preparation, all of those pieces. But certainly, I think if he lights it up, we will wonder a little bit, hey, like, why didn't he start sooner? but there were always reasons. And I think that, Quinn Ewers and Sark always handled that of like, hey, there's Arch Manning waiting in the wings. The backup quarterback's always the most popular guy on campus, especially when it's Arch Manning. And there's jerseys, Manning jerseys everywhere at Texas games, and he's not even playing. So they had to navigate that, and they believed that Quinn Ewers was giving them the best chance to win. He was also injured periodically throughout his time as a starting quarterback in Texas. But you get twice within a couple of plays of playing for a national championship, it's going to be hard to argue with that decision to go with Quinn Ewers. Still, I do think there's some pause with that. But I mean, everyone's excited for Arch. I was really impressed. Got to spend some time with him at SEC Media Days, like the even keel nature. He's very sarcastic and quick-witted, just like his uncles. Like, it just feels like he's handled all the things that we wouldn't know how to handle better than anyone has. And then you just know that the skill set is there. So I think we're just excited. It really is, for as much as we've heard about him, it really is an unknown because of how little we've actually seen him play in college.
So Texas-Ohio State, biggest game of the weekend, another big one, two big brands, number 8 Alabama against Florida State. They're doing that in Tallahassee. That's our old friend Mike Norvell. I got into a conversation about college basketball earlier in the week, hot seat list, and it seems to me Hubert Davis at North Carolina might be the face of that heading into the season. You either have a great year and we'll keep you, or if you don't, it's probably time to move on. Is Mike, the former Memphis coach, the face of that in college football heading into this?
I don't think he would be the number one person that people are going to put on a graphic for a hot seat list. But it's an interesting situation because it's not like it got to a hot seat last year, but it was such a historic drop-off off of an undefeated season, should have been in the college football playoff, to a 2-win season, that I do think you need to see significant growth. I mean, the administration fully backs him. They're doing all they can from a resource standpoint. They fixed their revenue distributions and issues with the ACC, so they're not in active litigation against the conference. So there's a lot that's going in his way, but I think he had to really restructure some things because he had been known as one of the portal kings, and he'd always hit on these portal players. That didn't work. They misevaluated, and then there were just not a lot of like homegrown high school recruit development guys that were ready to kind of like continue the foundation of the program. So I think reverting to that and figuring out, hey, are you basing your evaluations in the portal based on production at a lower level versus potential, but as a backup? And then obviously bringing in Gus Malzahn as the offensive coordinator, going out and spending and bringing in Tony White as the DC. I mean, those are really, really good coordinator hires. So I think the expectation is that they will be a lot better. And I just think the hot seat is probably, I mean, there's a number of guys in the SEC that are probably the face of this. And I might even say that it's Hugh Freeze, just how, like he's supposed to be this offensive guru, and the quarterback has been the problem in his time so far at Auburn. And that is a place that is not afraid to spend a lot to buy out a coach. So to me, that's where I start, even though maybe he's not on the hottest seat. I think he's the most interesting potential hot seat coach.
Wrapping up here with Nicole Auerbach from NBC Sports. Last thing before I get you out of here, Nicole, earlier this year down here in Memphis, we tried to give like $200 million to the Big 12. And they said, keep your money, just keep your money and stay in the American. What do we need to do? We got a football program that finished in the top 25. We got a basketball program that finished in the top 25. We got $200 million. What do we need to do to get to a power conference?
Yeah, I mean, that was like a new standard of what people are willing to do to buy their way into a conference there. If that doesn't work, I mean, you're just in a tough spot for now. I think you just got to continue to invest at the level that you can, be among the top of your conference, so that anytime there's another reorg, which everyone's looking at the end of the decade, right? You look at when the Big Ten media deals up, the SEC media deal, all the NCAA tournament deals are up, like CFP, everything kind of comes up at the same time. If there is a reimagining of college sports, if things reform, if the ACC schools are able to break out of the ACC for a more reasonable exit fee, you just want to be a viable option. You want to be in a good place. And honestly, that's how the schools in the Pac-12 are operating. I know there's been a lot of, the Memphis fans have a lot of feelings about, whether or not they should be in the Pac-12, or at least for basketball. But that's what those schools are doing. It's kind of a medium-term or short-term solution for them so that they can best position themselves for whatever comes next. It's not a long-term deal there. And so I think that's how Memphis has to have that same approach. And a lot of these schools, especially ones that are really, really good at a sport, and are good at football, but are not like at the Alabama level, but you want to continue to be playing and competing at the absolute highest level of college sports. You just got to spend, you just got to invest so that you're ready for when something breaks and reforms or changes and the ACC needs to backfill or whatever that ends up looking like. I think that's all you can really do at this point.
That's Nicole Auerbach from NBC Sports. She is on Twitter, X, at Nicole Auerbach. You can see her on NBC Sports. Listen, I appreciate you being here. You know I'm a big fan. I remember when you were just a rising star. Now look at you. You're fully risen. You're doing it. I'm so happy for all your success, and I hope to see you at, I guess, Big Ten Media Day in a couple of months.
Absolutely. I'll see you there.
All right, Nicole. That's Nicole Auerbach from NBC Sports. She's on X, at Nicole Auerbach. That's at Nicole Auerbach. Bennett, Mike Norvell at Florida State. We spent so much time talking about Ohio State and Texas this weekend. Obviously, Memphis, Chattanooga, locally is going to get some attention. Huge game for Mike Norvell.
It is a huge game. I don't think that like a loss in that game is going to necessarily be the that's not going to be the reason if they were to move on from him at the end of the season. They're playing Alabama, right?
Yeah, he'll have to lose a lot more.
Yes,
you know, a loss to a top 10 team, the Alabama brand is not going to kill you,
right? But
oh, buddy, it could flip the script if you get the victory
for sure. You know, I always go back to with Mike. Like I know last year was such a disaster, but like we saw him for he's a good coach.
He's great.
I know he's a good coach, right?
He's great.
I've seen it with my own eyes countless times. It's just going to be all about like, does he have the right roster? Was he able to get the right guys in there for this season?
I do think Florida State did the right thing because there was, you know, perhaps it was never going to actually happen because it was so expensive to try to move on, like tens of millions of dollars to try to move on. Like you thought Memphis paying Tubby Smith $20 million to move on was expensive? Nothing compared to what Florida State would have had to do to get Mike Norvell out of there. Where they settled, and this is very sensible from my perspective, where they settled was less than a year ago. This guy that all of our message boards now hate and think is incompetent and can't do the job. Less than a year ago, you ready for this? He was the national Coach of the Year. And in his previous job, he did quite literally unprecedented things at the University of Memphis.
And never forget, everybody was like, they got screwed. They got left out. Like he was right there on the doorstep.
If his quarterback doesn't break a leg, he's probably in the college football playoff and at least has a chance to go win it.
Right.
Because the quarterback got injured, I'm not going to have revisionist history here. I believe they were appropriately left out of the playoff.
Okay.
There was a clause in the playoff criteria that you're supposed to be evaluated on the team that you will have for the playoff. And they weren't going to have their starting quarterback. I know Mike disagrees. This is one of those things where like I'd put my arm around Mike and I'd be like, man, I wish you'd have been there, but I don't think you should have. We can just disagree on that. It doesn't mean I think anything other than that. I root for you. But if I can take that, set it aside, I do not think your team should have been in the college football playoff. Like I have to have these conversations with coaches sometimes. GP, why don't you have us in the field? I love you. I'd love for you to be in the field. But I don't think your team belongs based on what has happened in this season. That's where I was with Mike and Florida State in that year. Quarterback healthy, probably in. Definitely in. Quarterback unavailable based on the criteria, you probably should be left out. But what Florida State recognized is this is a guy who was the national coach of the year less than a year ago. Like if you're the biggest booster at Florida State and you walk in and talk to the AD, end of the season, you say, we got to fire this guy. 2 wins, that's ridiculous. It's Florida State. You look at him and you say, less than a year ago, he was the national coach of the year. Before that, he was our number one priority to replace Jimbo Fisher. He is everything we wanted. And then he got here, and it got off to a bumpy start because of COVID and whatever else. But less than a year ago, he delivered an incredible season that would have had us in the playoff if not for an injury. And now we're going to pay tens of millions of dollars to make him go away? We just think he's dumb all of a sudden? Can't coach all of a sudden? Or did he just get, because this happens in sports sometimes, one bad thing happens, one bad decision, one bad personnel. You believe in a quarterback that can't do the job. However it works, it can just spiral on you.
Yep.
That's all that happened. So rather than pay all this money to make him go away and then pay all this money to hire somebody who probably isn't even as good of a candidate as Mike was when we hired him, why don't we take all this money, invest it in a coordinator, invest it in a roster, and hope that the guy who was considered one of the best coaches in the country less than a year ago remembers how to coach? I think that's smart.
I do too.
I think that's smart. I think you're going to start seeing it more often in college athletics. Rather than pay all this money to make the coach we thought was brilliant go away, now that we think he might not be as brilliant, maybe just chalk it up to sometimes in sports people have bad years. Sometimes in all professions people have bad years. Chalk it up to that. Give him the resources to be successful, and then trust that he'll get back to being what he was. I think it's the right decision. But we'll see. And the opening game is a big one.
I thought her answer on Hugh Freeze was right. Like, if that offense doesn't look good this year for Auburn, then it's...
Well, you know Hugh's in trouble when they start talking about how much you play golf.
Mm-hmm. We did have all that. I forgot.
When
that
your
was
own
this
fans,
summer,
when you have to answer questions as a SEC football coach about how often you put a tee in the ground, it underlines how things aren't going well and how impatient the fan base is getting with you. At Georgia, do you think anybody is worried about how often Kirby Smart plays golf? No. I don't know how often he plays golf.
I don't believe so.
But I've seen him swing a club, and he looks like somebody who plays fairly often. It doesn't look like, you know how like LeBron has picked up golf. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
He's playing and he's watching and he's like, oh man, there ain't nothing that gets you into golf more than turning 40. All right. So he's in it now, right? Then you see a swing on Instagram, and you know what LeBron James looks like one of the greatest athletes in the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he looks like swinging a golf club? Somebody who has never swung a golf club.
Yep.
Somebody who doesn't know how to swing a golf club. He looks uncoordinated. He's not. He's one of the most brilliant athletes in the history of this planet. If you take him at 8 years old and decide to invest in him in almost anything, he would be great at almost anything. He could have been a Hall of Fame football player.
Yep.
A Hall of Fame basketball player, whatever you wanted him to be, all right? But when he picks up a golf club, it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. You want to know why? He doesn't pick it up that often or just recently started doing it. When I see Kirby Smart, he looks like a guy that's kind of like, you know, I bet his name's on his bag. You know what I'm saying? Nobody mentions that. Nobody talks about that. You want to know why? Because he's got an awesome football program. When people start talking about what you do outside of your football program, it's only because they're not satisfied with what's happening with your football program. And when it gets to a point where you have to discuss it publicly, you're compelled to, you got big problems. That's what happened with Hugh Freeze this summer.
Yeah.
He had to publicly discuss how often he plays golf. That means your fans are fed up. So absolutely. If he does not have a good year this year, that's probably it. And perhaps why, as Nicole suggested, he would be the face of the hot seat list. And it is wild because you think guys who have been that awesome consistently, wherever he's been, you just assume it'll be fine, like it'll work, right? And then sometimes it just doesn't.
Well, and the thing is for him is they open Friday at Baylor, and then their first two SEC games are on the road against ranked teams.
Yeah.
So it could get bad early.
I mean, you're almost hoping for 1 and 2.
Right.
And at Auburn, you're not supposed to.
And they have 2 bye games in between, but still, like when they start SEC play.
But in those 3 games, I mean, you're almost hoping for like 1 and 2 in that 3-game set.
Yeah, so
it's tough. And like sometimes this is just the way it works sometimes. How could you win at Arkansas State, but you can't win at Auburn? How could you win at Ole Miss, but you can't win at Auburn? Like, this is, you ready? The best job he's ever had. In terms of, like, you're set up to win.
Resources, yeah.
It's the best job he's ever had.
No question.
And the least successful he's ever been. It just sort of happens. It sort of just reminds me of Ben Howland at Mississippi State. Mississippi State hired Ben Howland. Went to 3 Final Fours in a row.
No brainer.
The last year at UCLA, and this is just a deal where they just got tired of him and they wanted to move on. Like, he won the Pac-12. Went to the NCAA tournament. Ben Howland is, as far as I know, the only coach in the history of college basketball to be fired with no NCAA violations or scandal attached to it. to be fired immediately after winning a power conference. I don't think it's ever happened other than Ben Howland. That's the guy Mississippi State hired. We're hiring a guy who went to 3 Final Fours, and in the last year that he coached college basketball, won a major conference championship. It just didn't work.
No.
It just, like, sometimes it just doesn't work. Like, something doesn't work. I don't know. Like, there's no way to actually pinpoint it. It's just like, it should have worked, but it didn't. And that might be ultimately the Hugh Freeze story at Auburn. It should have worked, but it didn't. You know, the world changes. You get older. It should have worked, but it didn't. So far, it hadn't worked. But he's got a lot of pressure on him.
Yep.
A lot of pressure on him heading into the season. I'm just glad we're here.
Oh, dude, it is. It just feels different. It's exciting. It's an exciting week.
I'm fired up for college football.
I am too. I'm
going out to Simmons Bank this weekend.
I'll be there.
Benny, you want to tailgate?
Yeah, you got a spot? You got a little spot?
I mean, I don't personally have a spot, but I feel like I know people.
I mean, I'm going to have 2 rabid psychos with me.
I got psychos.
Yeah.
I got my own psychos.
Yeah, I know.
I've got my own. Hey, I bet I can out psycho you.
Man, I don't know, man.
I've got my own.
My 2-year-old Miles is.
I've got my own psychos. I bet I can out psycho you.
Out of control. I like, and my wife, she's got stuff to do on Saturday, so it's just gonna be me and both of them. All right, and this 2-year-old man, he's out of control. Like his brother, I can tell him what to do and he'll do it. Him, I can't tell him anything.
I can't tell anybody anything.
Yeah.
Nobody in my house listens to anything I say.
I was thinking like, and I can't keep up. Like he runs away from me. I was thinking about bringing one of those leashes, but I always like look down on parents that have those. So I'm just winging it. If you see a 2-year-old running around Simmons Bank on Saturday, just grab him. I'll be there in a second.
It is funny. Like the last time, I really do believe the last time I was at a Memphis football game. I'm not proud of this, by the way. In fact, I don't think it's the last time. But I have a memory. The SMU game, the big college game day game, right? Mm-hmm. That was SMU, right? I was at that game. I think I've been more recently than that, but maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've got my little guys out there. And I have this memory in my head. I've had it since this day. Whether it was more recent than the SMU game or not, this is a memory that I hold on to. I don't walk around like waving
hey, it's me.
I don't.
Yeah, I got you.
It's not my personality. Mm-hmm. Outside of this show, like as soon as these mics are off, I don't talk the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. I'm not. If all you do is watch this show, this is not a good representation of how I live the other 22 hours of the day. Mm-hmm. I'm not just out there talking all the time. I speak when spoken to. Other than that, I mostly keep to myself. But I do try to be kind to everybody. To the extent that anybody would be like, hey, I know you or listen to you or whatever. I try to take time. The only time where I felt like I didn't, or one of the few times, Memphis football game, Tiger Lane, and it's exactly what you're talking about. My little guy ran off. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
gotta go.
I'm like, where's Lou? I don't know where he is. I mean, Tiger, he's just not there anymore. I've lost my child. Okay. Meantime, like a couple of young guys come over and they're like, GP. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, whatever. And they're being awesome. And I'm trying to be awesome back, but I'm also scared.
I've lost my child.
And I was like, and where normally I would sit there and I'd be like, I'd just be there for 3 or 4 minutes. And I'd just be like, hey, can I get you a beer? I'm trying to I want to make a good, first off, I don't approach anybody, but I like being approached. Mm-hmm. I like people being nice. I don't know, maybe it's an ego thing. I like it when people are nice. Mm-hmm. You're never bothering me. But I was like, I want to talk to these people because they wanted to talk to me and I want to be kind. But on the other hand, I've lost my son. Yeah. So I was like, hey, guy, I got to go. Bye-bye. And then I found him very quickly. It was fine. But
you've thought about that.
I think about it forever. All the time that there's like 2 young guys be like, yeah, we saw Gary.
Guys, it was a misunderstanding.
I just lost my kid and I was scared. Yeah. That's all. But I do think about that all the time. that like these guys might be walking around being like, I met that guy one time and he was kind of a jerk, kind of blew us off. But I was just scared of him. So kids do run off at Tiger Lane. That's a real thing.
Yes.
It's a real thing. Be careful. But I bet I can out-psycho you. It is different. Like, what do you do when your kids won't listen to you? This is actually a conversation I've had with my wife.
I don't know.
I go, so what is the next move? What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do. They will not listen. They're not doing anything. A perfect example, other day we were going, I think we had football practice, 9 a.m. football practice, Saturday maybe. 8 o'clock, Lou gets out of the shower. I know this is weird that I remember these numbers, but like I do, I remember, I document all this stuff in my head. It's 8:03, he's out of the shower. We need to be at the house by 8:35. He's out of the shower. I said, all right, get your pants on, shirt on, socks, shoes, brush your teeth. We got to be out of here at 8:35. He's in a towel at 8:03, whatever it is. At 8:35, he is still in the towel. What do I do?
I don't know.
You can't kill him.
No.
Okay, so I know that.
And the thing is,
I know that. But like, what do you do when your kids will not listen to you?
I did find like so we got in trouble at daycare the other day, and yesterday, in fact, and I did find like my normal like raising my voice. It doesn't work with the 2-year-old. Like he laughs at me when I raise my voice at him. Like it does not scare him.
I don't even think my kids hear it.
I found a better level. It was a more intimidating level. It wasn't louder. It was just more intimidating.
I've been there for
got him. And I was like, okay, that's the sweet spot right there. I'm gonna use that voice going forward.
Here's the problem. I've already used that voice. I've already passed that voice. They'll tune that voice out too. Give it time. I have outvoiced you wherever the voice needs to go. Like I'm confident my neighbors have heard me yell at my kids.
Oh, no, I think my neighbors probably think we're psychos in my house.
All right. So what do? The threats don't work. Perhaps because I don't follow through the way I should. I'll take some responsibility here. But like, what do you do when they will not do what you say?
I don't know.
It's a mystery.
And it makes me happy. This is mean. Like, it makes me happy when I'm at like Target or something and I see other parents struggling.
I love to see other parents yell at their kids.
I love it. Like I
want other parents to be pissed off.
It makes me feel good.
It makes me feel normal.
Yes. I'm like, okay, then I'm not, it's okay. Like we're all dealing with it.
Like one of my little guys told me, he was like, yeah, you know, so-and-so's, so-and-so, like dad yelled at the kid. And I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm certain the kid deserved it.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's just tough.
It's tough.
They're not scared of you.
No.
Like I remember being scared when I was a kid. Like I know I can't do this. And if you ask me why, it's because I'm scared of what might happen.
They're not scared anymore. Something happened.
Nobody's scared of me.
No, nobody's scared.
I don't scare anybody. Nobody takes me seriously.
It'll be all right, man.
I don't know if it'll be all right. That's what people say. But how do you know?
Your kids will get older and then they'll just, everything will change.
It is true that whatever issues I have with my little guys of just not doing what they're supposed to do, they're not that different than the issues I have with my oldest guy.
Right.
And my oldest guy is the best guy.
There you go.
You know,
it'll get better.
Right.
Yeah. 2 is tough.
2's tough,
Two
man.
is tough.
I tell you, man, 8 ain't,
not
eight ain't
early
great.
2.
Neither is 11,
like,
if you want to know the truth.
It's not early 2. It's late 2 going into 3. That's when it just like everything hits the fan.
You know what I actually remember about that age range? I remember it being the sweetest. The 3.
Oh, it's great.
3.
And awful.
I remember 3 being the sweetest. The age of 3. Like, I just remember that being very sweet. Like, not free of issues, but like just very sweet. Like your kids still just like love you the most. 3's a sweet age. But you get to a point where they don't listen anymore. It's tough, Bennett. Hey, I might have a couple little psychos out there on Saturday.
Yeah, me too.
So between the two of us, we'll have at least 4 psychos.
Yeah, we know where the tailgate is.
get you.
Okay.
I'll get a drink in your hand
Let me
pretty quickly.
let me know where the spot is.
I'm going to get you a spot, Bennett. You
Cool.
deserve a spot.
Good.
You deserve a spot.
Good.
Hey, Ed Scott met with the media yesterday.
I saw.
He's the athletic director at the University of Memphis. He was asked specifically about something we talked about last week. To be clear, not asked about it because we talked about it, asked about it because it was a national headline. SEC is going to 9 conference games starting in 2026. Is that going to negatively impact the University of Memphis' schedule? Ed Scott was asked that question yesterday. I'll tell you what he said. We'll do it next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
It's a massive weapon to have you pressuring the ball that far up. It wrecks offenses.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't want to do it. I think that's the main thing. Like, who wants to pick up full court the whole game? And on the opposite end, who wants someone picking them up full court the whole game?
It's annoying.
So it's annoying, so I feel like that's why I like doing it, because it's like, I wouldn't want someone to do it to me the whole game. It just shows how well-conditioned they are, too, because, like, damn, this dude will not stop.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturday. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Memphis Athletic Director Dr. Ed Scott met with the media yesterday to answer questions about, among other things, how the SEC's new scheduling model could impact Ryan Silverfield's Tigers. Do you see the quote?
Yes.
He said, it doesn't really concern me. This is the quote. It just puts us in a position where we may have to scramble. Could help us in other ways. Who knows? He sort of emphasized it's very early in the conversation to know exactly how specifically Arkansas is going to handle this situation because Memphis is on the Arkansas 2026 schedule. But that was a schedule created under the impression that you would have 8 SEC games as opposed to 9 SEC games. So among the reasons this is important to Memphis is because it is reasonable to assume you might be the school that gets pushed out. You might be the team that gets bought out of this contract Because even as Ed Scott pointed out yesterday, and this is what we talked about last week, if you're Arkansas, is this really like what you... I actually thought Ed was really good talking about this. He didn't even try to say, like, well, of course they should play us. Why wouldn't they want to play us? He was like, I can understand why they might not want to. I'm paraphrasing here, but he certainly seemed to suggest he understands they might be a real candidate to get bought out of this game, which is why he said we might have to scramble. What he means by that is scramble to fill that game. Because as he pointed out, okay, you're Arkansas. Now, he didn't say this exactly, but this is what we talked about last Friday. And then when I went over there with Vernon, Roser, and Devin, like, we continued the conversation. You're Arkansas. Right now, Sam Pittman's your coach. You think he's going to be your coach in January? What do you think, Bennett?
I'll say no.
I'd say no, too, right? Based on what Arkansas is supposed to do and what he has done to this date, there's some people who didn't think he should be the coach in 2025. If the season goes as expected, unless he exceeds expectations, he will not be the coach in 2026. All right. So just let's play it through. Fire Sam Pittman, hire a new coach. What does the new coach want to do more than anything else? Win games. All right? And
that's
he
a tough
happens.
one.
That's the tough. Now you're taking over an Arkansas program that's probably got nothing in it because the transfer portal is just going to eat up any program with a fired coach. So you probably inherit the Arkansas program that's got nothing. All right? Whatever you're going to have, you got to build it yourself. And given that you're in a league with Alabama, LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, you know who's in the SEC, you're going to have a hard time winning games in that first year. You might have a hard time winning games forever, but you're definitely going to have a hard time winning games in year one. There's no getting around it. Also, hey, did you hear the news? Now you got to play 9 SEC teams, not just 8 like every other coach in the history of the SEC has been doing for an extended period of time. It's 9 now. All right. So you got to play 9 SEC games. What else do I have to do? Well, you got to play another Power 4 team from outside of the SEC. Really? We only get 12 games. I got to do 9 against the SEC and then another one against the Power 4? Yes, that's right. Those are the rules now. Who's my Power 4? Utah, already on the schedule. It's signed, contract, done. Okay, so I got to play 9 SEC teams and Utah. That's right. What else? And Memphis. What? Memphis? They just finished in the top 25. They've been to a million straight bowl games. I got to play 9 SEC teams plus Utah plus Memphis, and I get 1 mid-major? Yeah, that's right. No. What can we do about this? Well, we can give Memphis a few $100,000, get them off the schedule, play 9 SEC games, Utah, and 2 mid-majors. Yeah, let's do that. Most people think that's what's going to happen. Memphis will get bought out of that game because if you're the Arkansas coach, understandably so, you don't want to add another possible loss to your schedule. Memphis is in this weird spot. Not good enough to be in the Power 4, but too good for Power 4s to want to play you if they already got to play 9 SEC games plus a 10th game against another Power 4. You only get 12. If you're at Alabama, maybe you ain't worried about having 2 mid-majors. If you're at LSU, maybe you're like, we're LSU. We're not going to worry about having 2 mid-majors going forward. But at a place like Arkansas, you probably do need those. Mississippi State, you probably do need those. Vanderbilt, you definitely need those. And it could negatively impact Memphis' schedule. So when Ed says it could help us in other ways, what he means by that, I think, just money. We got this contract signed. They're going to have to pay us hundreds of thousands of dollars to get out of it. We'll take that money. We can do a million different things with it and then just go play another game somewhere else. But he made it clear we would like to play these games. We have SEC programs on the schedule. We would like to play them. But he recognizes those could now be in jeopardy for very obvious reasons.
Yeah, and I look at one of the games that it's actually one of the better games. At least it's going to get highlighted pretty well this weekend. Is Boise State at South Florida?
Thursday night game.
Yeah, and I just look at that and I'm like, I feel like I said this the other day. That's the direction they're going to probably have to go. Is find these schools like in the new. I know there'll be new Pac-12 eventually. Yeah. But these schools that are year in and year out, competing at a high level, like a Boise State, like a, UNLV, schools like that, and set up home and homes with them because you benefit each other.
That's right.
Right. Like you get a win. It's big for you. You get a good strength.
For the same reasons Memphis used to schedule Gonzaga in basketball.
That's it.
We can't get programs like us from power conferences to play us in February, but we can play each other. Let's just play each other. So, to your point, do you try to get a...
I think Boise State makes so much sense.
Just something like that.
Oh, my gosh. Because that's one of those that... Because... when you're looking at like the home schedule, like what's everybody excited? Everybody's excited about the Arkansas game, right? Because it's just a big brand. It's in the South. Like everyone's excited about that. Yeah, it's the Razorbacks. But like, Boise State is a big brand. Like if you could do a school like that and you benefit each other, like I think people would say, I want to go watch that game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it moves the needle. The problem going forward is that the game's already on the books. They're on the books. But they were put on the books under a different set of circumstances, and I bet at least some of them are going to get bought out. Now going forward, every conversation you have at Memphis with an SEC school probably ends something like this. Man, we'd love to play you. Our fans love coming to Memphis. We've got a lot of alumni in Memphis. But, I mean, you get it. We got to play 9 SEC teams, plus a Power 4 team. That's 10. We only got 2 games left. And we don't want to add you because you're better than some of the SEC teams that we're going to have to play. You're better than the Power 4 team we might have to play. Or at least you could be. At least you have been. So we'd love to play you. It makes a lot of sense, but we can't play you under these circumstances. Like my coach is dying to try to get to a bowl game. I put Middle Tennessee on the schedule. That helps us get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
I put you on a schedule. You might be the thing that prevents us from getting to a bowl game. So I can't do it. That's going to be a big problem going forward. I don't know if it's going to be a big problem, but it's going to be a problem if you're somebody who likes to go to Simmons Bank and watch Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Arkansas. You're going to have a hard time getting those games going forward. And Ed yesterday seemed to, in his own words, acknowledge that that's a valid concern.
Number 2.
Roster cuts. They're going to be finalized soon here in the NFL and in Cleveland.
Locked in.
Are you locked in? What are you locked in on exactly?
Just paying attention to all the movement.
Attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So the big headline last night, Kenny Pickett traded out of Cleveland. He's a Raider now.
Yeah, this makes all the sense. Like we've been talking about that Browns quarterback situation so much lately, and he is the one that just stands out. Like there's no way that guy's a part of their plans, right? Like Joe Flacco's the guy that's gonna hold it down, the veteran presence, and then you got these 2 rookie quarterbacks, and then Kenny Pickett's in there. Like it never made sense.
Another franchise has already tried the Kenny Pickett thing.
Right.
And it didn't work, and that doesn't mean that it can't work somewhere else or that it couldn't work in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield is an example of this, right? It didn't work one place, but it's working somewhere else. So, like, these things happen in the NFL. But when you have drafted, every bit of this is connected to they drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks.
Right.
All right? So now what do? You don't draft somebody to cut them.
Right.
You don't draft somebody and then before the regular season even starts, you cut them. I mean, that does happen sometimes.
Yeah, I think it did in Tampa, I want to say, with their backup. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens sometimes when somebody is just unbelievably bad relative to the evaluation. Or it's a weight problem. It's a drug problem. It's a personality problem. It's an off-the-field issue. But broadly speaking, you don't draft somebody in the 3rd round and then draft somebody in the 5th round and then decide to cut them before the regular season even starts. So all of these issues that they're having to address, it's a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
But I think they probably made the right deal here. Kenny Pickett might become something wonderful someday, but I doubt it. I wouldn't bet on that. So what are you doing? Joe Flacco's going to
hold it down, yeah.
It'll either go well or it won't. Odds are it won't. And then you're going to turn to what? At that point, you turn to the future. You allow Joe Flacco to be your QB1 to start the season because you're 0-0 and there's hope. There are surprises every year in most mainstream sports that we follow. Perhaps this year, the surprise of the NFL could be Cleveland. I doubt it, but it could be. Joe Flacco gives you the best opportunity to grab that.
Yep.
So you allow him to be QB1 when your record's 0-0. And if he wins, great. Let's see where this goes. Let's be the story. More likely, he loses more than he wins. More likely, he doesn't start 4-1. He starts 1-4 or whatever. And when that happens, the only thing you can do to keep things interesting, the only thing you can do that's productive is to turn to something, a blank canvas, something that your fans can talk themselves into. I've been sitting across from you for a while. I remember when you could talk yourself into Will Levis. You want to know why you talk yourself into Will Levis? Because you'd never seen it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen some things with Will Levis. It's on the internet.
I mean, I always kind of thought he wasn't good.
But you talked yourself into it for a minute because you hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
All right? You've seen Kenny Pickett. You're not going to be able to talk yourself into Kenny Pickett if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. If you have to turn away from Joe Flacco, you want to turn to something you can believe in. You can trick yourself into believing in. You want to turn to something that's hopeful. I'm dealing with this right now as a Mets fan. They brought up a rookie pitcher. He's been great. They're probably about to bring up another one. It's something to believe in. I don't know, but it's like, all right, well, maybe this will be the thing that changes the season. Dylan Gabriel, you'll be able to talk yourself into maybe this is the thing that changes the season. Shedeur Sanders, there's already people who think he will change the season. I don't know what it's rooted in. I never seen a 5th-round pick struggle in the preseason and people believe in him, but that's where we're at with this guy. But you can at least believe in that. You can't believe in Kenny Pickett, so get him out of the way. Ride with Joe Flacco, hope it goes well. When it doesn't, because it probably won't, turn to something you can believe in. People can believe in Dylan Gabriel if they want to until it doesn't work, and it's undeniable. People can believe in Shedeur Sanders if they want to. You can't do it anymore. But you're going to have a much harder time believing in Kenny Pickett because you already seen it. So get him out of the way. Dylan Gabriel now QB2. Shedeur Sanders, QB3. I think it's smart.
I do too.
It is tough for the Cleveland beat writer the entire time. Do you see this? The entire time. Every bit of information coming out of Cleveland, according to Adam Schefter as well, is that they're taking 4 quarterbacks into the preseason.
Yeah, that's right.
So the Browns have a beat writer who, she's been the beat writer for a long time. Like she's very good. She's so good at her job that I know, like I recognize her name. I don't follow NFL that closely, like I don't live and die with it. I read the headlines, watch the games, but I don't get into. I know you're paying attention to the 53-man roster cuts.
Yes,
I'm not. All right, any more than what we're talking about.
Should have a lot of movement today.
Movement is expected. Movement is expected, but she's so good at her job that I'm aware of her existence. Right, and she got put on cold takes, freezing takes.
No,
because she was like. One thing's for sure, she tweeted it. One thing's for sure, the Browns are taking 4 quarterbacks into the preseason. That's done. Now, in fairness, Adam Schefter said the same thing on TV.
He did.
But when it's on Twitter, buddy, they can hit you with an old takes exposed pretty easily. So she's taking she's dealing with that today.
Whatever. It's kind of, I feel like old takes exposed is actually like a badge you can wear.
Do you?
Yeah. Have you ever been on?
I think so, but I don't remember for what. But gotcha. I believe I have been caught up in that. The way you know you're caught up in it is like suddenly you start getting a bunch of replies. It's like Tuesday afternoon and you're like trying to take a nap and you wake up and you grab your phone and you got like 40 replies of people going, "Oh, you idiot!"
Yeah.
And you're like, "What happened? What did I even do? I was sleeping."
Yeah.
What idiotic thing did I do while I was sleeping? And it's nothing. It's something you tweeted 7 years ago that just got back into the headlines today. And now Old Takes Exposed got it. Now you're an idiot. So I don't remember what it was for, but I do believe I've been a part of it.
Okay.
I didn't wear it as a badge. I wore it as it was aggravating.
I got you.
It just sort of aggravated me. Anyway, hey, Terry McLaurin, he got a new deal.
Thank God.
Why are you thanking God for Terry McLaurin?
He's on my fantasy team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's why you sent this to me?
I was worried.
Did you send this story to me because he's on your fantasy team?
A lot of people are having drafts this weekend. It's very important, and he's like a massive name. It was a big deal. We were worried there for a second.
Am I a weirdo that I don't play fantasy football?
Yes.
You ready for this?
You're like the only person that you might be one of the only people that has anything to do with the sports world that doesn't have a fantasy team.
And you know what the truth is? I don't even want to. I don't even have no interest. Like if you invited me
to it.
I would not do it. I don't want to. There's nothing about me that wants to do that. Why? What makes me so weird?
I love it.
I know people love it.
The reason I love it is because when I win, it makes me look smart. But the other people, like when you hit a bet, like, you know, it's like, okay, well, I'm glad I won money, but like nobody else gets to like see this and see how smart I was. Like with the fantasy team, it's like everybody's got to watch you be smart and dominate. I like that.
Have you ever thought that maybe a better way to teach people that you're smart, a better way to make people think you're smart is just like push the buttons right all the time?
That's whatever. No, that's again. We talked about badge of honors. I wear that one proudly. That's fine. Yeah, I don't care about that.
You're more focused on making your fantasy football team look smart than you are making yourself look smart by punching story number one.
I've probably effed up the buttons multiple times over the years while I was looking at my fantasy
team. That's what you're doing over there all the time. I'm over here talking about Juan Soto. You're over there not giving a shit, scrolling your fantasy football team. I know what's going on now.
Yeah. 5. 1 of 5.
You have 5 fantasy football teams? I have 0. I've had 0 for years.
Yeah.
You know what happened? Here's what happened. First off, I don't remember ever being good at it. I think I won one time when I was at the commercial appeal. We had a commercial appeal fantasy football league, and I think I won it one time. Got a trophy and everything. All right. More often than that, I would get off to a rough start, and then I don't want to, and then I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my fellow league members would get mad at me because then somebody would be like, hey, GP, I got these 2 guys. If you'll give me, you know, Adrian Peterson. And I'd be like, okay, I don't care. You know, I would just be like, whatever. And then everybody else would be like, hey, yo, you can't just trade Adrian Peterson. And I was like, you can't tell me. Then I'd dig my heels in. You can't tell me what to do with my team. I'll do whatever I want to with my team. And then you'd wait. What do? You wake up on Tuesday and you got to put in all your
waivers or waiver claims. Yeah.
I just felt like I'm too busy to be doing this. Like, how can I justify waking up on Tuesday and looking at waiver wires when I then say things out loud like I'm too busy?
I think it's also just a way to live out like we're never going to be like, football coaches or
Speak for yourself. I might be.
Or
I was an offensive coordinator Memphis Spring Game.
That's true, but we're never going to run a team. It's like,
speak for yourself. I might run a team.
It feels like you're part of it. I feel like I'm a part of it all.
You feel like you're part of something?
Yeah. Like when a guy that was barely made the team, like later in the season, ends up being a big time contributor, and I picked him up off waivers months ago. It's like, look how
I will tell you my best pick ever. I didn't remember this until just now as you were saying that. I think my best pick ever. This was a 92-9 fantasy football draft. I was in the 92-9 draft. My best pick ever. I took Odell Beckham as a rookie.
And you got clowned for it too.
Do you remember this?
I remember the draft. Yes. We did it in the conference room. You got clowned for that pick.
And you know what I remember thinking? I was like, hold up. How is he still available? I watch college football. This guy's awesome. Why is he not going to be awesome? I'll take Odell Beckham. And people are like, oh, GP's an idiot.
That was a reach. Yeah. Ended up working out.
I think that's the highlight of my fantasy football career.
It might be.
I took Odell Beckham very early in his rookie year. I figured that's as good as it's ever going to get.
Probably so.
And then I'm not only am I not interested in it, I don't miss it. Nothing. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. There are times when I hear other people like being excited about something, and I go, man, I'd like to be excited about that. I wish I was excited about that. I wish I was excited.
I have a huge draft this weekend. Actually, I think I have 3 drafts in 3 days.
I don't miss it at all. There's nothing. I don't feel like I'm missing out.
Okay. Well,
I know that makes me unusual. Like, I realize you're on the right side of this and I'm on the wrong side of this.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm on the wrong side of it. Does that make sense?
Yes. I got it. That's fine.
Well, I hope you enjoy your fantasy football season.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can tell.
Number 3.
Did you know that if you buy a movie from Amazon, you don't actually own that movie the way you think you might? This is big news to me. I'm an owner of Amazon Movies, I believe.
Buddy, I did know that.
Bennett.
Yeah.
Expand on this. What did you know?
Well, I know that buying digital movies is one of the biggest call it a scam.
One of the biggest scams in the world is buying digital movies. That's what you think.
It is
not all the other scams that cost people billions of dollars.
I think buying digital movies is one of the silliest things you can do.
But one of the silliest things you can do is buy a digital movie.
Yes.
I was going to go with fentanyl. I was going to go with fentanyl, but you think it's buying an Amazon movie. You think if I were sitting on my couch tonight and I had the option of buying a digital movie on Amazon or snorting a line of fentanyl, you would think it'd be sillier to buy the Amazon movie.
Yes.
Maybe.
No, I like, you know where I stand. Physical media forever.
I know.
If I love a movie, if I want a movie, I am buying that Blu-ray or that 4K. Like, I'm buying it. I want the physical copy. All right.
Yeah.
And this is why. Because
this is why.
Because here's the thing. What happens is, basically what the people that did the lawsuit are saying is, this movie that you buy that you supposedly own can actually go away. Like, Amazon can lose the rights to the movie on their platform, and the movie could just like disappear from your, wherever you hold the movie. I guess it's just on the Amazon platform.
I don't like it.
Yeah, the movie can just go away.
I feel
they could lose the rights to it.
I don't like that. Like, I bought this iPad. This is mine. I own this, right? I bought this computer. This is mine. I own this. This is my phone. I bought this. I own this. See this? See this?
Yep.
This is a hoodie.
Yep.
I bought this. This is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been operating under the assumption that if I sit on my couch and I go to Amazon and I buy a movie, it's mine. Just like this hoodie's mine. Just like this watch is mine.
It'd probably be yours it'd probably be yours for a while, but like I'll give you an, give
me an example, Ben.
Well, like I'm an Xfinity customer, right? I love Xfinity, right?
I know you do.
But you can buy movies on it, right? Okay, so let's say I buy a movie and it's just on my Xfinity. What if Xfinity, went away one day and you bought like all these movies on it, and they're just gone? Like, they're gonna go away with your service. Like, there has to be a service for the movie to actually exist on it.
I'm assuming there's a way to resolve that. I hope you're not filling up your head with these concerns. I hope you're not worried about losing movies on Xfinity someday. I hope you're more content.
I own all my movies. Yeah, I have the physical copy. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. It is kind of crazy that, like, you're just not aware of this. People are not aware of this.
So the other thing, too, this is so annoying, all right, is what you'll see now is you can either own the movie for like $24.99 or you can rent it for $19.99.
I just did that this weekend.
Yeah. And so, but it's like, oh, well, that, why wouldn't I pay $5 more to just own it? But if you're buying movies if you're buying digital movies, right? Like, you wanted to watch Sinners, let's say, and you bought Sinners for $24.99 as opposed to renting it for $19.99. If you bought it to watch it are you really ever going to watch it again on your digital media?
So I actually have this conversation with myself. This is something I talk about with myself when I'm alone. I'm presented with these very important decisions sometimes.
Yeah, like, you're buying it because you want to watch it right now.
Superman's on Apple TV.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the one right now.
This is the one right now.
Yep.
Hey, why don't we all sit on the couch and watch the new Superman?
Yeah, we can rent it for $20 or buy it for $25.
This is the option that's put in front of me.
Yep.
Do you know what I do? Every time?
Buy it.
Rent it.
Rent it, yes, because you're never going to watch it.
Never.
No.
Never. Is that a phenomenon that's lost? The rewatching of movies. Do people rewatch movies?
I mean, I do.
I know you do.
I do. But I don't know. Like, just the casual movie watcher, I don't know.
When I was in my teens, early 20s, we rewatched movies. I grew up rewatching movies. Like, just from my childhood. I can remember watching Major League 1,000 times because it was my dad's favorite movie.
And a lot of that...
I can remember watching Lethal Weapon 1,000 times. I've seen all the Rocky movies 1,000,000 times. But any movie that comes out now, I watch it and I never watch it again. I never rewatch anything.
Well, a lot of that, too, is the cable TV era, like, that we grew up in, because
they would just
replay stuff over and over again. And so it's like, you
like the Big Lebowski's on TNT every hour or whatever.
Yeah, if you wanted to rent a movie, you had to go to Blockbuster. Like, if you're just watching stuff on your TV, you watch whatever was on TNT or, whatever. Maybe if you had HBO, stuff like that. And they would replay the same, 15 movies over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't rewatch anything. I watch something, I go, that was good. Or I go, that was bad. Or I go, that was whatever. And then I never see it again. I cannot tell you the last recent movie that I rewatched. I have no idea. So I always just rent. It's only $5 more to buy. I assume, even though incorrectly, but I assume it's mine forever. But I'm like, what is the point of having this forever? I will never revisit this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to watch this again. I want something new. I want something I've never seen.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fair.
I'm a renter. I'm not a buyer, so this is not going to really concern me too much. But just beware. If you're buying, and this is an Amazon lawsuit. This is why this is in the news today.
Mm-hmm.
But it could theoretically be true anywhere.
Yes.
If you buy a movie from a streaming service, you don't actually own that movie forever necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
What you're actually buying is the right to watch that movie whenever you want, as long as the service that you bought it from owns the rights to that film.
Yeah.
But if that ever goes away, you just turn on your TV one day and
it's gone.
It's gone forever. Just disappeared in the night, like Amy Bradley.
That's why if you love something, buy the physical copy. Buy the physical copy. Never buy digital.
Bennett's going to die.
Buy physical.
Bennett's going to die on that hill.
Physical media forever.
Physical media forever.
Number 4.
Cal Raleigh made history last night. Hit his 50th home run, Big Dumper.
Yeah.
He's become quite the star.
He's on a roll, man.
Like, Big Dumper is now a thing.
I've been enjoying the streak as well.
You're home run betting again.
Mm-hmm.
You're prop betting again.
I love betting home runs. Oh, my God. It's one of my favorite things to do during the summer.
I meant when we had Katie Mox on a few weeks ago to ask her how stupid that is of you to do.
Dude, and you know what's hurt me lately? Aaron Judge.
Betting home runs.
Aaron Judge has not hit a home run in forever. I don't know what's going on. I do not know. This dude was hitting one every other game, and he's just not lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been brutal. But Cal is.
Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
50th home run last night for the Mariners. Of course, nicknamed Big Dumper. Wins the home run derby. And now, you ready for this? The list of men who have ever hit 50 home runs in a Major League Baseball season while switch hitting. Some of them from the right side, some of them from the left side. The list. You ready for it? Mickey Mantle, Cal Raleigh.
Damn.
That's the list.
That's pretty damn impressive.
Imagine getting on a list with Mickey Mantle.
That's pretty cool.
He's just sort of like he's gone from who to...
I know.
And like if he was a Cub or a Dodger or a Yankee.
He'd be yeah.
But out in Seattle, like he's playing late at night and you just don't see it too often. In baseball, we've talked about before, it's one of those sports where if it happens with your favorite team, you're very in tune to it. But things that happen in the AL West aren't really on your radar if you're a fan of a team in the NL East. It's not like the NBA where you're kind of aware of the big stories wherever they happen. Baseball's a little more regional than that.
Yeah.
You pay attention to what you pay attention to, and everything else just sort of happens off your radar. And Cal Raleigh is that, but he's now just, because of the way his season started, because of the nickname, because of the home run derby, and because of like stuff like what he did last night, he's starting to be, you don't have to live out west. You don't have to be a Mariners fan. I think we're at a point where you don't even have to be a baseball fan to be aware that he's a thing that's happening. And now he's a thing that's happening in a pretty historic way. 50th home run last night, becoming just the second switch hitter to ever get 50 in a season, joining a club previously occupied by only the legend, Mickey Mantle.
Number 5.
All right, Bennett, are you following?
I saw the story yesterday. Yes, I finally saw it and read about it, and it was on the news too last night.
If you remember yesterday, we were talking about golf, and I was talking about Cat Williams, and I said, "Oh, and he might be in the news at some point soon." And then the news broke yesterday. I'm kind of like the Adam Schefter of Cat Williams news, as long as it happens in DeSoto County.
Yeah.
No, like South Haven, like that whole little area down there, it's like a little gossipy.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty gossipy.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, buddy. So, at some point last week, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, did you hear Cat Williams, security guard, kill somebody in South Haven? I'm like, what? I'm like, first off, I live on TMZ. I live on the internet. If Cat Williams security killed somebody in South Haven, Mississippi, I think I would have heard about that already. And they were like, okay, well, it'll probably come out at some point. But that's a thing that happened. And then you hear that a comedian from Baltimore was killed in South Haven last Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. Because somebody had just told me, did you hear Cat Williams' security guard kill somebody in South Haven? And then the story comes, and by the way, the story, this happened on Wednesday. I don't think the story actually hit the news till this weekend. Mm-hmm. And it was like Reggie Carroll, comedian from Baltimore, 52 years old, shot and killed in South Haven, Mississippi. Down by Church Road and Highway 51. I lived, when I was right out of college, I lived one street over from this. Mm-hmm. I've lived literally one street over from where this happened for 3 months. I was living downtown, and then I had a dog in my building where it was you can't have the dog here. And so I went and lived somewhere else for 3 months, and then we figured out whatever. I got a new place, moved back. But I lived near this place for 6 months, something, I don't know. And so it's a 52-year-old comedian from Baltimore? What is he even doing in South Haven? And what happened? So it was a weird story. If you followed it, the news broke comedian shot and killed in South Haven. And then you'd read the last line of the story, whether it was WREG.com or wherever. Yeah. And it would say, police have arrested and charged a suspect. Identity still not publicly available. I'm like, what? You arrested and charged a suspect? And we still don't know who this is? But I had been told, it's something to do with Cat Williams. And the news broke finally yesterday. The person who has been charged with this is a guy named Trinell Williams. And according to TMZ, although the last names are the same, unrelated to Cat Williams, but he did work security for Cat Williams. And Cat, the way it's being labeled in the news is that this house is associated with Cat Williams. It's unclear whether he lives there or not. Gotcha. He might just own it and then rent it or whatever. But it's a home that is associated with Cat Williams. We've said before, it's unclear to me exactly what he does here, but how often he's here. He's here a lot. Yeah. I mean, dating back years, I would just randomly you'd hear I saw Cat Williams at Kroger. Mm-hmm. People would say that to me. Saw Cat Williams at Kroger and Olive Branch. I think I remember somebody saying that to me. Just was at Kroger, saw Cat Williams, and he's here a lot, and seems to own property here, but we still don't have the details on it. I sent you the story.
I know, and the guy's family.
The guy's family is we don't know what happened, but it sounds like it's a comedian who was on tour with Cat Williams and who's tight with Cat Williams, was at this house with this security guard who worked for Cat Williams. And something went down, and based on everything I've read, is he was shot and killed in the front yard almost. And there's another comedian who jumped on social media last night, early this morning, and was like, all right, Cat, now it's time to talk. His celebrity was sort of elevated after the Shannon Sharpe interview, where he was like, it's important to tell the truth about what's going on. And I'm here, I got nothing to hide. I'm a truth teller. He's talking about Diddy and talking about everything else. And Cat Williams became a thing to where Kendrick Lamar makes the GNX album. And in the opening track, he references Cat Williams. It became a thing. And so this other comedian last night or early this morning was on social media and was all right, now, what? Yo, man, this is your security guard. This is your friend. What happened? It's time. You ain't said a word. You can't even tweet a rest in peace. No, you're supposed to be the truth teller. Talk. And I know it's obviously more complicated than that.
Sure.
But this is a thing. And it's originating, 20 minutes south. This is a real thing that the story will get bigger before it goes away.
I think you're right.
It'll get bigger before it goes away. That's a weird sentence to say.
I was gonna say. Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway.
No, I'm locked in. I'm locked in now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm anxious to hear what's next. Yeah.
But the deceased comedian's brother, talked to the news and was like, nobody has told us what happened. All I know is my brother was shot and killed. I do not know why. I do not know what happened. And it sounds like there's pictures of these two people together. Mm-hmm. These were not strangers.
Right.
It sounds like I'm hesitant to speculate, so forgive me.
Sure.
But it sounds like these are two people who knew each other, and it somehow got to a point where one shot the other. That's what it sounds like. So how do you get to that point? I don't know. I guess it's an American story.
Sure.
Not too uncommon, but you can find one every day. I know you can find one every day. But like this one involves the type of people who it ends up on CBS News.
Mm-hmm.
This is no longer a local story.
Right.
This is CBS News, TMZ, big story. We'll get the details eventually, I guess.
All right. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in too. Be back with GP's Carryout.
The NBA announced their dunk of the year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
What about the hanging your hat on the defensive end? Where does that come from?
And one thing my dad told me is if you want to get to the NBA, if you want to leave an impact, if you're a competitor like you say you are, you're going to be one of the best defenders on the court every time you step on there. He said you're not going to disrespect the game. You're not going to take it for granted. You know, this is not a right, it's a privilege. So go out there and compete every day.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Well, Bennett's locked in, paying attention. He's monitoring all the roster moves in the NFL. I think rosters have to be finalized a little later on today. The Jets have cut Malachi Corley. You familiar with his work? He's a receiver.
Yep.
First pick of the third round 2024 NFL draft. He is, according to ESPN, he becomes the highest picked player from 2024 to be cut by an NFL franchise already. The Jets moved up in the third round to take him, and a year later have cut him. He only caught 4 balls last year. No, only had 1 catch last season. Played 53 snaps, which was 5th among New York's receivers. 1 catch for 8 yards. Third round pick. And apparently didn't do anything this preseason to inspire confidence. So now he's looking for a job. That is something I don't think young athletes not all of them properly realize. If you talk to any young football player, not any, but you get the point, broadly speaking, basketball player, football player, baseball player, they have goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your goal? I want to be in the big leagues. I want to make the NBA. I want to get in the NFL. Like, you set these goals, and it's almost like it's a finish line. Like, in your head, you've created a finish line. What's your goal? Get to the NFL. Okay. So you work like crazy to achieve this goal. Throughout high school, if you're good enough, scholarship, go to college. If you're good enough, NFL radars. If you're good enough, you might get picked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I made it. That's what a lot of people say when they get drafted. I made it.
Yeah.
Dream come true. Finally made it. It can go away just like that. You work your whole life like crazy to achieve the goal. You achieve it. But I don't think what some properly realize is that, all right, you're here, but man, you might not stay here that long.
Right.
This could all go away pretty quickly. And in his case, roughly a year. If you are a third-round pick in the NFL draft, you're expecting to be a player on a team as a rookie, then you're not. But you're certainly expected to be in the NFL for a while, then you're not. You barely play as a rookie, you're gone before your second season. It's tough out there, Bennett.
Yeah, man.
It's hey,
no question.
Just because you made it doesn't mean you're going to stay there for long. Malachi Corley, latest example of that, third-round pick last year, cut by the Jets this morning.
What's today's biggest game?
Oh, we're going to do WNBA tonight.
Okay.
It's the Seattle Storm at the Indiana Fever. You lost with Jacob deGrom last night.
Son of a...
It was costly.
I haven't even looked.
It was costly. They gave him no run support. They treated him the way the Mets used to treat him.
Yeah.
They didn't give him run support. That's the story of deGrom's tenure in Flushing, Queens. They didn't give him run support. You lost with Jacob deGrom last night. Tonight, we're going WNBA, 6 o'clock tip, CBS Sports Network. Seattle Storm at the Indiana Fever. Before you even asked, yes, Caitlin Clark is expected to miss another game. She never plays no more.
I'm wondering.
This is going to be her 16th straight missed game. She hasn't played since July 15th. And once this game is done, the Fever will have played 38 times this season, and Caitlin will have only played 13 times. 13 games played, 25 games missed. Do you know how many games she missed at Iowa? She played 4 years at Iowa. You know how many games she missed? Take a guess.
2.
0. Damn. 0. Iowa played 139 games while she was enrolled. And she not only appeared in all 139, she started all 139. Never missed a game. But now in year 2 in the WNBA, she's about to miss the 25th game of the season. There's only 6 games left in the regular season after tonight.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Star is reporting this morning they do expect her to return soon, but we'll see.
The thing is, so the Sparks are right on their heels for that 8th and final seed in the playoffs. I just wonder if if they're right there, then yeah, I think they bring her back and they try to get in the postseason. But if this thing keeps slipping, I do wonder if they just say we're not going to bring her back.
Well, that would be disappointing and deflating.
It is, again, it's 6 games, it's tight, so they can hold on to their spot. But if they're not going to make the postseason, they're not going to bring her back, obviously. Well, they wouldn't, because they wouldn't make the postseason.
But if we get to a point where there's 3 games left in the regular season and they are tied for the last playoff spot, and the medical staff has said she's good to go.
Yeah, then they'll bring her back.
100%.
I agree.
100%.
I agree.
I think she plays again in the regular season.
They've lost, 2-3 in a row?
They never win no more. They're 19-18 on the season. Seattle, 3.5-point favorite tonight, total 168.5. How you going to act?
I'm going to take the Storm.
Ben is taking the Storm on the road.
Yeah.
We lost Caitlin and Sophie. That's tough.
Yeah, what's the line again?
3.5, Seattle.
Oh, God, that's kind of... I'll go Seattle, yeah.
Ben is taking the Seattle Storm on the road, -3.5 against the Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham-less Indiana Fever. 6 o'clock tip, CBS Sports Network.
What's the best thing we've read?
We're just not watching TV tonight, I guess.
Oh, my God, I'm so sorry.
What are we watching on TV?
At least your fantasy football team makes you look smart, you know?
It's just making sure, defense is looking good still.
Have you watched The Truth About Jussie Smollett?
No, I have not.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Brand new documentary. About 90 minutes. Perfect. One episode.
Oh, that's
90
good.
minutes. Perfect. Easy watch. You don't have to invest too much time. Are you familiar with the story?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Fellow was on Empire, and he's the guy who said he got attacked in Chicago by a couple white guys in MAGA hats. They were like, "This is MAGA country," and they were like beating him up, calling him gay slurs and racial slurs and all sorts of stuff, right? And then the Chicago PD investigated. They were like, "Yo, man, you made this up. This is crazy." And he was convicted of the crime, but then it was overturned. And the documentary does a good job of like creating enough to where I guess it leaves it open to like, well, maybe he's telling the truth. Because he is tied to this lie.
For sure. He does
not waver. I mean, he is just committed to the story. The story's not believable.
No.
He's a liar, all right? But he is a very good liar. Like I think he could pass a lie detector test. I mean, he is sticking to the story. But all the evidence just flies in the face of his story. None of it makes sense. But what they do to balance it out a little bit, it's interesting. They've got like Chicago PD investigators, all the tape, all the surveillance, all the everything. And it's like, this is why everybody thinks this guy is lying. But there's another side of the story. And then they bring in internet investigators. And they're like, well, if you look at it this way and this way and this way. And it's like they sort of try to balance it out. But it's like, here are the actual trained investigators with all the evidence. And these are people who just play on the internet. All right. I thought the filmmaker does a good job of, by the end of it, just making you realize it's a little heavy-handed. Like, all of these people are crazy. The people you think are lying, the people you think are telling the truth, everybody here is messed up. This is all goofy, just a goofy story. They do a good job of sort of hammering that home. But like ultimately, like the guy set himself up to be this for whatever weird reasons he conjured up in his head. But the evidence is overwhelming that it did not happen as he says. And I didn't realize this. I don't mean to ruin it. Spoiler alert, if you're going to watch it and you don't want to hear this part. It's just one little part of it. But there's just surveillance from all these businesses and all these homes. And like they basically were able to track these two people from where they were in Chicago at the site of the incident. They were able to track them all the way to a different part of Chicago.
Yeah.
Because these surveillance cameras just kept picking them up. It was like, all right, here they are here. Now they're 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 here. And you just got them on camera the whole way until they literally get out of the car. Well, what they know is they got into an Uber. These two men, we don't know who these two men are. But what we know is these two men got into an Uber. All right? So they go to try to get the information from an Uber. You know what they find out? There was literally, at this time of night in this part of Chicago, one Uber. One is one. Whoever got into that Uber, that's our people, because there's only one Uber. It's not like we got to comb through 50 different Ubers and try to figure out which one. There's literally one Uber in the area. It's the middle of the night, freezing cold, one Uber. So all they had to do was just track that one Uber. You know who it is? The dudes who work with him at Empire. Did they go and they find surveillance cameras from a store the day before it happened? They're buying ropes and red hats, and Jussie Smollett's written a check to him for $3,500. Like, it's just. But I am impressed by how committed he is to the lie. He's really like committed to the lie. That's a hard thing.
Yeah.
You ever had to commit to a lie? Just be like, this is going to be.
Yeah.
It's much easier just to tell the truth and be done with it than it is to try to carry around the lie for the rest of your life.
I think that's true.
But this guy seems committed to it. It's a easy 90 minutes.
Okay.
If you're looking for something to just eat up some time late at night. The Truth About Jussie Smollett. It's on Netflix. Top 5 new movies listed right now.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com, they're ranking the best quarterbacks available for the 2025 NFL roster cut. So if you're a football franchise that might be trying to add depth at the quarterback position. Well, here's some people who have recently been cut that might get picked up in the coming days. Cody Benjamin's got it. It's on the homepage right now, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's going to be Wednesday. That means Chris Vile Big Mouth going to jump in studio with us. I'll talk to Vernon tomorrow. We'll be one day closer to our next round of college football games. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. Let's meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.